Welcome to the Murfreesboro Beercast, where beer is community and community is a lot more fun with beer. Let's raise a pint, enjoy the show. Cheers.
Hey, my name is Brian Nell. I'm a mortgage loan officer with Primis Mortgage. I want to tell you that I absolutely love being a member of the Spread the Positive Network. It's such a great mission and helps bring so much positivity to our community. It's truly be a pleasure and a part of what they do. There are a lot of ways to navigate financing a home, and in markets like this, having the advice of a trusted local professional is key to making sure you get the right advice for your specific circumstances. Whether you're interested in the purchase of a new home, second home, or have a need for a refinance, I'd love to earn your trust. If I can help you nail your mortgage, call me at 615-243-3976 or visit nailyourmortgage.com.
Primis Mortgage is a subsidiary of Primis Bank, a member FDIC, equal housing opportunity. As always, all loans are subject to approval. Primis Mortgage, NMLS number 1894879.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Murfreesboro Beercast. I am so excited to be hosting today. I have actually been drilling through concrete all day today, so I don't hear real well. So if I'm a little extra loud, Trent, I do apologize. But it's still kind of like ringing in my ear right now. We've got a great show up for you today. My assistant, my friend, and a budding beer appreciator will be on with us here in a little bit, and I've got a special surprise for her, and she's gonna hate it, but maybe she'll love it. I don't know. We'll see. And other than that, we're gonna hear from Adrian Oldham, Homebrewing. And we'll talk about what's pouring and several other things. It's going to be a great show. Okay. All right. What's pouring in Murfreesboro? So I got to tell you, the only one that I have information on is Cedar Glade Brews. And so here's what I'm going to tell you guys. If you're enjoying this Beercast at all, I'm going to ask you to do a couple of favors for me. Number one, like it, share it, all of that kind of stuff. Tell your friends about it. Let's build up some viewership. Number two, tell all your friends, tell all my friends over at the other breweries to send me a list, man. Let me know what they've got going on. It is free advertising for them. So Missy sends out an email once a week, or I guess every other week, and asks them what's coming, and we'd love to promote that for us, for them, because we love having a beer scene in Murfreesboro, and we're trying to grow it. All right, so what's pouring here at Cedar Glade? Of course, we just tapped El Cedro for Cinco de Mayo. It was awesome. It is awesome. I have had more than my share of those already, and we've got a lot more of that coming. The next thing, and this is super exciting, June 1st, we will be tapping the Uncommon Kentucky Common. And it is a unique style that we have never made before, and we're excited about that. And we're tapping the non-barrel aged version of it because mid-June we will be tapping a barrel aged Kentucky Common called Uncommon, and it is delicious. We bottled it this past weekend, and thankfully we had a couple of short pours that had to get taken care of because we don't waste beer at Cedar Glade. And it was pretty spectacular. So can't wait to get that in y'all's tummies. All right, next we're going to roll over to our Homebrew Highlight. My friend Adrian Oldham is on there, and Adrian is a super unique fella, and him and his crew have the Abbey of the Emerald Rose Homebrew. I almost want to, I kind of want to just call them a society, because Abbey of the Emerald Rose sounds like a society, doesn't it? Yeah, so let's hear from Adrian.
Zoom in on this. Okay, here's how to get free beer, eh? Get
Your name and the name of your brewing moniker.
I'm Adrian Oldham. I'm with the Abbey of the Emerald Rose, part of Mid-State Brew Crew.
All right, excellent. Adrian, how long have you been homebrewing?
Since middle of 2005.
Are you checking your watch right now?
I am. It's half a freckle past 19 years.
Okay, right on. What's your favorite style of beer to brew?
I got a couple there. It leans English, or dark, so malty. Definitely prefer the malty. IPAs are not my thing.
Not a hophead.
Not a hophead.
No.
I got a specialty that's a Lichtenheiner. I've made several times. Scored very well. Done well with it. It's a smoky, tart wheat beer.
Wait.
In the historical style.
Smoky and tart at the same time.
Smoky tart.
How do you get the smoky flavor in there?
Smoked malt. Generally, your traditional. Which one was it? Hang on. There's going to be some editing, by the way.
Yes. We've already gone through that part with the others as well. Yes.
I'm trying not to curse. Okay.
Oh, knock your socks off, man. You're in good company.
Let's see, which one is it? The I want to say Alderwood. That doesn't sound right, but traditional, like old school, soft smoked malt.
Okay.
Decent percentage, and then of course a little lactobacillus, a little bit of thyme to get the tart on it.
Okay. It sounds interesting. I can honestly say I've never had that style before.
I'll tell you, my secret on the wheat is red wheat, a little more flavor.
A little more color too, I would assume, huh?
Touch more color, but barely noticeable. It still comes out quite golden.
Yeah. Okay. Well, when are you brewing that again?
It's going to have to be pretty soon because the World of Beer at the club meeting just got pulled, and it's a Lichtenheiner.
All right. Well, I can't wait to try that. It's going to be awesome. What's your favorite kind of beer to drink?
It's also going to be something a little on the sweet side, but malty, so doesn't have to be sweet, but dark, flavorful, not bitter, but roasty and those kind of things.
Gotcha. Now, you also work for a local distributor, so you get to try some different stuff and get to, your distributor in particular pulls in some pretty unique items. So what's the weirdest beer you've ever tasted, whether it's through the distributor, something that somebody's made, that kind of thing?
Oh boy. Well, weirdest, I was at a homebrew competition and there was an entry. It was in the spice, veg, herb category, and there was a turnip beer.
Turnip beer?
Yep.
Was it as bad as it sounds?
I really liked it. It tasted like dirt.
So yes, in other words, it was as bad as it sounds.
It tasted like a turnip. They identified that they used turnips. It tasted like it, and I scored them very well.
There you go. All right, what's your favorite event each year that you guys participate in?
Ooh, different spectrums there because Shakespeare is always awesome, but it happens early in the year, and then Oktoberfest at Oakland's Mansion.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. All right, Adrian Oldham, thanks, buddy.
Cheers.
We're back.
We are back, and I am so excited that normally we do have a beer expert to banter with, and Missy puts together the show for me, and she actually scratched out the word expert and put beer noob banter. So I have a special treat. This is going to be fun. So Missy is not a beer connoisseur, but you've grown a little bit.
You're right. I have. I drink more than a Berliner now.
More than that, that's cool. So we're gonna accelerate the process here.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and she said, let's talk a little bit about, she started naming off some different beer styles. She's like, because I like a lager, and I didn't do that. I did something different.
Of course you didn't.
No. So grab your glasses over here. We got two things. So one of the things that you're going to love about beer as you get involved in it, and if you're watching this, you know this, is that the same beers or the same beer style can vary wildly, and you have like subcategories, right? So even with lagers, right, you can have lagers that are as black as night all the way to almost see-through. And so it's just the process, and then it's about the grains and the hops and the yeast and everything and the, all of that.
All the nerdy stuff Robert says.
Exactly. So one of the most, in my opinion, misunderstood styles, and it happens to be one of the most popular styles, probably the most popular style,
IPA,
is an IPA, and they're grossly misunderstood. So I'll have people that come in to Cedar Glade a lot of times, and they'll say, "I just really don't like IPAs. I don't like hoppy beers." And then I'll ask them, "Well, do you like grapefruit?" "Well, yeah, I like grapefruit, or I like citrus in it." I'm like, okay. So if I gave you a beer and it was citrusy, and I didn't tell you what it was, and you liked it, would you order it? "Yeah, but I don't like IPAs." and then I hand them this beer, for example, and they go, "Oh, that's delicious." And be like, "Huh,
Joke's on you.
fascinating." Yeah. But so what we've got in front of us are 2 different Cedar Glade IPAs.
Okay.
Okay, they are both IPAs.
Okay.
But they are distinct styles. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm gonna let you try them.
Okay.
And I shouldn't have told you what they were, but I do want you to try them. So we're gonna go with the. So here's the other thing, and Ozzy and I talked about this that time. Is there's people are like, I only want a light beer, or I only want I don't really like dark, heavy beers.
Right.
But there is definitely a difference in darkness and lightness on these.
100%.
Yes?
And I've watched the show enough to be like, it's hazy.
It is hazy.
Good job.
All right, so let's go with
I pay attention, friends.
with the hazy first.
I smell citrus. Ooh, it's got a good finish. Like, at first I'm like, beer.
Yes, it is beer. Good job. I'm proud of you for that. That's a first step right there.
Knowing it's beer.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely taste citrus.
You don't have to like it.
No, it's the after that I'm like, I want that out of my mouth.
Yeah. All right, so let's go with this one. Let's try this one. So, just on sight, what do you notice different about this one versus this one?
It's a little more see-through, like clear. It's more has more clarity, less hazy. It is darker in color.
So you got a kind of a caramel amber color.
Yeah, amber. That's what I was. Yep. Mm-hmm. I don't smell as much citrus. It has I don't know a word for it other than like a thicker flavor. Like,
Okay.
it doesn't feel as light. Like, it definitely tastes more beer-y to the noob.
Less citrus.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So what we've got, just like classic hip hop, you have an East Coast and a West Coast battle going on here. Okay. So the amber one is a West Coast IPA, or also just known as an American IPA.
So
okay.
Easy E.
There you go. And then this one is a New England IPA. So characteristics on a New England, hazy.
Okay.
Got it. When we first poured this, it's been sitting here for like 15 minutes.
It had a big head.
Big old thick fluffy.
Yeah, you can tell all around.
You see pillowy is how it's described a lot of times. And or even meringue, depending on how thick that head is.
It sounds like pie, so I'm in.
But the classic is grapefruit is what you get out of it. And then the West Coast is typically described as some hints of citrus, but a stronger pine flavor and pine smell. So a little earthier, a little less of the citrus,
earthier,
and kind of like a pine forest. And most people perceive the West Coast as more bitter, though the bitterness in the New England comes all at the end, right? You got that.
Yes, exactly. That's why, like, when I swallow this and I enjoy it, and then it's like, okay, enough of that. This is like all the time.
And it's bright and a little more clear.
Yes.
Finish is cleaner.
Yeah. Yep. I can agree.
Okay. So if you had to drink one of these two, which one would you drink? Are you Biggie Smalls or are you Dr. Dre?
I feel like I'm more Dr. Dre.
More West Coast?
More West Coast, I think.
Okay.
Like this one, this one, I know what I'm getting. Like, I taste it the entire time. But this one, it's like, okay, nope.
Interesting.
I mean, yeah. So, like, yeah.
Now, and this is just two of these are two of our flagships here at Cedar Glade.
So this one's called.
So this is Long Hunter.
Long Hunter IPA. Okay.
And we can it as well.
Ooh.
And then this one is Landslide. So that is our New England IPA. Now
is this the one that the Mug Club voted on?
It was all of our patrons one day.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So
that the other one was.
The other one was super bitter.
Yes.
Yeah. So this one was 63 to or 65 to 3 was the vote total. I voted for the other one because I like them real bitter.
Okay.
And but this one won. This is a stereotype, like perfect, exactly what a New England is supposed to be.
Wow.
It's
Good
not
job, Robert.
too hazy. Yeah, Robert did a great job on that. It's
Yeah.
not too hazy, but it so it's thick. But it's got all that haze in there, all those extra proteins floating around in there that don't quite dissolve all the way out. And that's where all of that bitterness comes from. So anyway, 2 classic styles,
Yep.
2 kind of competing styles. I'll tell you, Bearded Iris, for example, they are known for their hazy IPAs. That is their thing, and they make a lot of them, and they make them very, very well. This is kind of what is super popular right now, though there is a return to these
So the
clean,
West Coast.
crisp West Coast. Yep.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. You like IPAs?
I can have one.
Yeah.
I can have one. And to be fair, I would have never been like, yeah, I'll try that. I would have never done that. Just because I know, like, especially this, I've been like, I don't like dark beer. Like you said. So it's in the grand scheme of things, it's actually pretty light. And then to me, like I've learned to say, it's not that I don't like dark beer, it's I don't like hoppy beer.
Mm-hmm.
Like
This is very hoppy.
Right.
So this sits, and it's an imperfect science anymore, but there's a measurement that used to be used all the time as the standard called IBUs, International Bittering Units.
Yes.
And this sits at about 89 IBUs.
Ooh, okay.
Which is pretty high up there.
Yeah, that's what I look at when I see a menu. I go low on the IBU.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So this is high. Okay.
The other fun part is both of these are over 7% ABV. So they're stronger. Cheers. As well. That's right. All right. Well, there you go. We also have our Maniac Pale Ale, which is a less hoppy, similar beer to this, but it's just significantly less hoppy. Even though it has a similar amount of hops, they're different hops.
See, you tricked me on that Maniac Pale Ale because I didn't consider it an IPA.
It's not.
I've tried it. I've had it. I like it.
Yeah, it's a pale ale. It's not an India Pale Ale. Which, if we have time one day, we'll talk about the origin of the name India Pale Ale because it's actually pretty fascinating.
Oh, nice. Okay, so West Coast is lighter, like not as bitter.
Sometimes. Now, there are some.
Again, it's
right. There are some Westies that are like crazy bitter.
Okay.
And they are pure bitter. They are not citrusy necessarily.
Right.
They are pure pine bitter.
Yeah.
I love that beer. That's a great beer.
Yeah, I think I like it. I still think I'm a Westie.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Me too. In hip hop and in beer.
I feel schooled. And to quote Ice Cube, I'd say it was a good day.
I'd say it was a good day. That's right. All right, there we go. All right, that wraps up one more episode of the Murfreesboro Beercast, and we are so excited about the show. It was a lot of fun to put together. Turns out that Missy doesn't hate West Coast IPAs. She doesn't necessarily love them, but she doesn't hate them. So, you know what? Today was a gateway beer day. It was a gateway beer day. So anyway, that was a lot of fun. Thank you, Missy, for being a good sport and trying the IPA, even though you said you would not try an IPA. I didn't really give you much of a choice. You're sneaking it in. That's right. So I guess that's about it. Go visit some of your local breweries as soon as you can. And just remember that beer is community, and community is much better with a beer. Thanks for listening. Thank you to our guest and to our fine sponsor, Mr. Brian Naylor of Brews Mortgage. Please go out and support your local brewers. Thanks for listening. Thank you to our guest and to our fine sponsor, Mr. Brian Naylor over at Premise Mortgage. Please go out and support your local brewers.